Hi everyone, this is Austin from Raw Bliss. Today I wanted to talk about, it's raining, again. Today I wanted to talk about comfort zones, and a lot of people have this conception, and I did as well, that comfort zones are bad, like we shouldn't get comfortable. And I would definitely say, like, when I was growing up and I guess in my teenage years, I was probably the most comfortable. And comfortable meaning, I kind of did the same thing every day. I lived in the same house, and I kind of had my routine, and I set boundaries. I didn't do things outside of my comfort zone, didn't do things too adventurous. And this obviously limits your life quite a bit when you're in these comfort zones, because you're not doing anything to excite yourself. It's just not exciting. It's not fun. It's not stimulating. It's not anything. It's not creative. It's just kind of bleh. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, this is what I do. This is what I do every day. And obviously, comfort zones. It's hard to grow. It's hard to develop yourself as an individual when you're in these comfort zones. So there is an aspect to it that we consider bad. Now, as soon as I started traveling to Asia and around the world, I started seeing comfort zones as a bad thing. And then I would travel someplace, just for a few days, and then I'd go to a different city, and then I would just continually do that. I'd be constantly hopping from city to city, from country to country, and this was extremely stressful. It was like a very stressful situation, and it can really get to a point that you're afraid of comfort zones, because that's where you came from, and you associate that comfort with a lack of growth, with a lack of development, with that particular time in your life when you were a particular person. You associated with depression, or not having many friends, or whatever it is. You associate it with binge eating, or whatever your situation, drug addiction, a lot of different traumas. And this is why people run away from comfort zones, and they kind of just keep pushing themselves until their body essentially says, like, okay, this is too much. And that's what happened to me. Got very adventurous. I would get into motorbike accidents, or I would fall down a cliff in Sumatra. If you guys haven't seen my videos, that's in my story time playlist, where I almost died. And this is when comfort zones can be helpful. Get into a place where you're surrounded by people that you love. Get into a community, a place where you feel accepted, and create a strong routine. Create a routine with positive, healthy habits. So this is when comfort zones can be healthy. You can be comfortable with a healthy lifestyle. Okay, so doing yoga every day, meditating, breathing fresh air, going for a hike, going cycling, going to the beach. These are healthy habits that are comfortable, that are not too adventurous, not too out there, and these are reasonable things that we can do. So comfort is like a sense of warmth and a sense of like, something that feels good. It feels homey. It feels natural. It feels like something you've done for a long time. So like talking to an old friend can feel comfortable, but it can also be outside of your comfort zone because you haven't talked to them for so long. So I think it's really interesting, this concept of a comfort zone. Like, for example, I was traveling for 2 years, like constantly going from place to place, and I got some injuries, and I was just so stressed that I could not enjoy myself fully. So fully grounding yourself in this, in a comfort zone, I would say, before you travel, after you travel, and just having like a balance in your life between comfort and uncomfort, rather than being on one extreme or the other. Like, I was afraid of comfort zones. I didn't want to come to Vietnam, settle down, and ground myself, because I've been living here a year, and I really feel grounded in myself now, and I really feel I've grown a lot, actually, even though I'm in a comfort zone. And before I was like, oh, you can't grow because you're not, because you're in a comfort zone, right? Because that's what I associated it with my unhealthy habits back then, which was a comfort zone. But here, I've really developed myself and grounded myself into my being. And I feel better than ever. I feel like my health is transformed and gone into a more positive direction. And when you're stressed, you can't enjoy life. You can't do a lot of things. You can't think properly. You can't eat properly. So this is when I think comfort zones can be helpful. Just sitting and listening to the rain, it reminds me of being in Seattle. And so a lot of times emotions will come up when I hear the rain and when I see the rain, because in Seattle it rains constantly, like 9 months out of the year, a lot of the time, 9-10 months even. And I associate that with depression, with a place of darkness and cold and loneliness, I guess. And something I've been working on more recently is just sitting with that emotion, finding the root of that, rather than distracting myself with video games or watching movies like I would in the past. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. That's comfortable. But there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to run away from watching movies or listening to music or whatever it is that you do, just because it's comfortable. It's perfectly fine in moderation. So we should do things that are comfortable in moderation and things that are uncomfortable in moderation, in my opinion. And that's my opinion on like a healthy lifestyle, rather than constantly jumping, constantly pushing, constantly extreme, which I've done in the past. You can check out my playlists, my old videos, my travel videos. And, I really feel like once you're grounded in your being, you can enjoy these things more and you can push yourself more. So it's important to have this comfort, this level balance in yourself, this truly knowing who you are, and this sitting, not distracting yourself, having that time every day to come center yourself, ground yourself in your being. I think it's so important. And you get more happy with your life because you're not constantly seeking consumption and seeking outside external forces to validate your being, rather than just being and just listening to nature and addressing your traumas so that you can feel those to heal them. You have to feel to heal. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to share today, and I really hope some of you found this helpful. If you guys resonate, please comment down below. I really appreciate you guys so much. Much love and peace. See you guys in the next one.